bed. Music bed. Music bed. Music bed. Music bed.
It is 1 o'clock. It is Monday. It is time for the Monday message. And holy cow, I'm excited, man. I'm telling you, coming out of Thanksgiving, we came out on fire. I am so proud of this team. Holly and I, we were looking at the reports at the end of the week last week. We were like, they killed it. We were so excited. We were so proud of every single one of y'all. Because one of the things you'll learn about me is I look for temperature taking opportunities. Does that make sense? Like I like to look for opportunities where we can take the temperature of the team. And one of those big opportunities is when there's a holiday, right? When there's a holiday, weak people, weak performers, weak teams go, well, shucks, guess didn't really much could come up this week. Guess we'll get them next week. That's what low performers do. That is not what we did. We came out, we straight out performed. We had one of our best weeks of the year coming out of Thanksgiving. So I'm so proud of you guys. Holly's so proud of you. We love this team. I'm telling you, everything I see, every indicator is pointing towards an insane 2023. I mean, insane 2023. People are going to change their legacies in 2023. We can't let our foot off the gas. It's December. We got another holiday coming up. So let's go hammer down over the next few weeks. I mean, let's go insane. That way we come into Christmas. You can take the day with your family and you can go, you know what? I killed it over the weeks in between. Let's spend some time together. Then we will come into that week between Christmas and New Year's, which is always a magic week for sales. I'm just telling you, we've got it on. We've got it on the run. We've got it on the run. We got to keep the momentum up. I am so excited about today's call. I'm going to introduce our guest here in a little bit, but let's go through the leaderboards from the weeks that was. Let's look at our submit. Everybody over 1,000. We've got Kelly Lynn Curges. We got Carolyn McBride, Holly Throckmorton. Oh, if you will let me know when Mark's on, just give me a thumbs up. He's on. Okay, great. Holly Throckmorton, Chelsea Bealey, Lakeisha Perkins, Zadok Gibbs, Robin Beal, Tyson Thrall, Willem Stallones. There's another kid. I'm just telling you, watch out for this guy. Just watch out. I spent some time with him in South Florida. He's on that team, part of Panda's team, part of Dave Fleming's team, part of the Mike Guerra takeover of the Alliance, the Nick Greco takeover. I'm just telling you, this is the next one coming up. I'm telling you. Seth and Adina Decker, who have been killing it in Medicare. When you see those 20 apps, most of those are Medicare. They don't show up on the life premium, but they are going to show up in their bank account. Dude, Seth and Adina Decker's renewals in another 3 years will be amazing. I'm so excited watching them grow. Kidada White, Lisa Kirk, Amanda Waller, Rachel Midtune, the newly married Rachel Midtune. We'll have to change her name on the leaderboards. I'm telling you, watch out. If you've been resting on Rachel, now that she's got the wedding behind her, it's going to be epic. I foresee a massive 2023, as massive as Rachel had in 2022. I'm telling you, the whole Alliance next year is going to be like, what the heck happened? What the heck happened? What the heck happened? I'm just telling you. Cheryl Watkins, Tamia Gomez, Antonio Green, Jonathan Henderson, Nick Greco, Jackie Johnson, Ryan and Camille Lewis, Austin Heater, Evan Patzer, Chrissy Arn, Deb Pavlik. Deb, I owe you a text back. I'm going to text you back as soon as I get to the airport. I apologize about that. It's been a crazy morning. Joanna Castillo, Earl Harden. I snuck some apps in there. Diana Castile, Sean Cuff, David Laney, Rogers and Kim Straughter, Dave Fleming, Thomas Payne, $6,063.36. Adam and Cindy Burge, $6,165.96. Jennifer Midgley, $6,249.24. Another name to watch out for, I'm telling you. Stacy Colbreth, $6,366.84. Let's look at the top five. Top five, Danny Hoyt. Way to go, Hoyt. $7,234.92. Hoyt, dude, I'm telling you, I walked away from Des Moines like more encouraged than I've been in a while. And you know how encouraged I stay all the time because the people I keep myself around. Dude, Donnell Vaughn, y'all write that name down. He's going to put Des Moines on the map for the Alliance. He's going to be on the map for the Alliance. Man, what an awesome group of sharp people out there. Hoyt, I appreciate you setting the table. I know we got Hutch going out there and Greco going out there and leading them by personal example. Way to go, Hoyt. Mimi Ramiro, $8,142.52 across 9 apps last week. I just mentioned him, Mr. Mark Hutchison, $11,706.48 over 12 applications. Mike Guerra, dude, continuing to kill it. $14,175.96 across 8 applications. Number one for the week. Oh, Jeremico, let's go. Dude, that meeting in Detroit, they're getting it going. It's going to be Detroit's going to be another place on the map for the Alliance. You're going to see it all of a sudden start showing up in Andy's jet schedule. I'm telling you, they got some great stuff going on up there. Number one for the week in personal production, 20 applications for $21,943. Jeremico said he is coming. He is coming. I love it. Way to go, guys. So proud of every single one of you guys. So proud of you. You didn't listen to the noise around you saying, well, you can't sell much during the holidays. You know, basically, it's not till the first of the year. That's what all the low performers in our industry say. Y'all didn't listen to them. Holly and I are so proud of you. All right, let's go to our next leaderboard. Top 5 paychecks. Look at this. Keep in mind, this is 1 week. Most insurance agents will never make that in a month. Y'all are making it in a week. Look at this. Evan Patzer last week deposited $4,803.15. Antoine Johnson, brand new agent, won the Ireland trip. I'm just telling you, he's only been with us, I think, 5 or 6 months, and he won the Ireland trip. And he's continuing to stack up cash. Antoine Johnson, $8,020.86. He'll tell you the secret is just buy a ton of leads, invest a ton in leads, and you will just, the sales come out of it. It's when we penny ante with leads that we shoot ourselves in the foot. You always look at this. Buying leads is buying your future cash flow. How much do you want to buy? That's how I look at leads. All right. Nick Greco, look at that. $8,574.72 deposited Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 week. Mark Hutchison, $8,601.13 last week alone, and 5 figures for the week. Brandon and Ashley Beal, last week alone, deposited $10,753.98. That is awesome. Way to go, Brandon and Ashley. Y'all are killing it. Holly and I are so proud of you guys. All right, month to date issue paid. You see how it's shaking out as we're getting towards the end of November. I think we have the final numbers. We'll have those. We've got Mike Guerra, Sam Howard, Mark Hutchison, Mimi Ramiro, Adam and Cindy Burge, Jeremico Edwards at 5. Number 4 would be me, Antoine Johnson, brand new. There's no reason to not kill this thing. Antoine Johnson is killing it. Brandon and Ashley Beal, number 2. Kim Pavlik, number 1 for the month. Way to go, guys. So proud of every single one of y'all. Year to date issue paid, you can continue to see the shakeup and the makeup there. You got Patzer at 10. Guerra's moved there to 9. Antoine Johnson, brand new, ain't even been with us a full year. Nick Greco, Brandon Ashley Beal. I'm currently sitting at 5. Jeremico, we keep going back and forth, brother. I love it. Let's keep chasing each other to the end of the year. Adam and Cindy Burge, brand new agent, brand new. Rachel Midtoon, brand new. And then Mr. Hutchison at the top, $266,230.89. He said he's going to Des Moines to help with the sales training. Donnell, dude, I would get everybody there. Mark is one of the best sales trainers I've ever seen, ever. I'm just telling you, he will teach your people how to make some serious money helping families. All right, Freedom Leaderboard. Let's look at the fast tracks. Holy cow, look at all these fast tracks. Dante Wilson, Nolan Mott, Nathan Pierre Toussaint, Hester Humphreys, Ryan Lewis, Adam and Cindy Burge, Melanie Luong, Dayton Howard, all of One Direct, Antoine Johnson, selling and recruiting. He said, I can't do both. Anybody can do both. I'm just telling you, look at the people setting the example. Antoine, I'm so proud of you, brother. 2 directs, Brandon Ashley Beal, 9, and Noah Wilson. What the heck, brother? Keep killing it, man. I'm so proud of you, dude. You are at an awesome spot in life. Young father, building a family, building a business. So proud of you, dude. 28 direct fast tracks. That is insane. Way to go, man. Look at all the new agent contracts with new direct contracts. Those are people hitting the ground running. You got Antoine Johnson, Dante Wilson, Emily Archuleta, Sam Howard, Donita Crowder, Chrissy Arn, Billy Namath, and Donnell Vaughn. Plus, I'll just tell you this. After spending time with Donnell and his team, I know they're going to make the Alliance parties funner. I'm just telling you. That crew's going to make the parties funner. Brandon and Ashley Beal, 5 direct contracts. Way to go, man. Killing it. Noel Wilson, 6 direct contracts. Noel, keep that up, brother. Keep that up. Let's get those guys right in business. You will be going partner. All right. I think that's it. Nope, one more. Oh my God, promotions, promotions, promotions. Look at all the new look at all the new IBAs. Those are people with brand new this month, brand new first piece of business issue paid. Look at all those folks. Look at the brand new business developers. Look at the brand new business promoters: Darcy Allen, Deb Pavlik, Ryan and Camille Lewis, Luis Garcia Aguilar, Taylor Baloney, Thomas Ferguson, Madeline Hawthorne. Look at brand new team builder, Daniel Lene, brand new qualified team leader, Kidada White, brand new qualified key leader out on the West Coast, Kay Arrowman. The Arrowmans, I'm telling you, that's another couple that could take over in 2023. I'm just telling you. All right, is that all our leaderboards? All right, guys, I am so excited to introduce our guest. I'm going to introduce him, and then I'm just going to tap out and I'm going to listen in, because I'm just telling you, I have been so impressed by his teaching. And I'll just kind of give you this setup. I've been hearing about Marcus Setta, hearing about it from Danny Hoyt, hearing about Marcus Setta from Nick Greco, from Mike Guerra. And I'm hearing all this, and I'm going, there's no way this guy can live up to the expectation. There's just no way. And then I meet him, and then I see him teach. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna blow. This guy's not only gonna meet expectations, he's gonna blow past them. I'm telling you, his teaching, if you just follow it, your business will grow. It's not a matter of if. It's like listen to what he teaches, do it, and it will grow. You will go partner. I'm just telling you. And then the first meeting I went to in Dallas after being at Integrity's headquarters, and then hearing Mark train, I'm just going, this is what takes us to that next level. I'm telling you. And then getting to see that talk at family reunion, the gambler, I was like, dude, if this is what View from the Edge is like, I've got to have 1,000 people there. I've got to have 1,000 people there. And then Breakthrough, those of you that were at Breakthrough, some of the stuff you shared with me that happened, to you as you broke through, and I'm just telling you, what a crazy good event. So guys, I'm crazy excited. I'm done talking because I want to listen. Guys, please give your full attention to my friend, Mr. Mark Setta.
Thank you, Stephen. Wow, thank you for the kind introduction, number one. Number two, I love seeing all those leaderboards and so much talent on this team. My gosh, it is really remarkable. And it is going to be fun to see who are the ones who break through next year. There's a lot of newer names up there, which is exciting. And, I remember back in the day, I was a business builder for 21 years, actually for 27 years. And I remember, being new and being inspired to get on the leaderboards. I remember what a big deal it was. And then I remember being kind of an established veteran and making sure those new people didn't push me off the leaderboard. So competition, friendly, healthy competition is super duper important. So if you aren't chasing those leaderboards, you really should be. And then, of course, I'm sure most of you know who Jack Welch was. If not, he was the CEO of Ford Motor Company, amongst other things he did in his life. And his book on leadership was so solid. Basically said it's in two phases. The first phase is when you just say, okay, I'm going to be better than I've ever been. I'm going to be my best. I'm going to be better than everybody else. I'm going to outwork other people. I'm going to work on my skill sets. And you get to the most elevated level you can for yourself. And while that level is impressive, and it's something that most people never get to, the second level is where people create incredible levels of wealth, people like an Andy Albright. And that's where you get to where we can always get a little better, but where you are close to maximizing your potential and you turn your attention to the people on your team. So go back to the leaderboards. For me, when I was new, I wanted to get on the leaderboard. I wanted to go as high as I possibly could. And I did. But then when I started realizing the real fun here is not me, it's how many people on my team can I get on those leaderboards on a regular basis. And once I started getting my team members on the leaderboards, that's when my income went out of control. And those of you who did go through Breakthrough, you remember people will all work for money, but they will die for recognition. Here is a form of regular recognition, and don't lose sight of how important that is, especially to someone like I used to be, who's never had anything like that. So congratulations again to everybody. I'm excited to share a couple of fun things with you today. And again, clearly there's a lot of success established here. And again, that's what Andy did bring me into. Mr. Albright brought me in to help take the Alliance to the next level. The last company I worked with did about $3 or $4 billion during the time period I was there. And that's what we're trying to do here. We went from events with a couple of hundred people up to 25,000 people. And, all Andy keeps saying, man, is if we can get our events even half that big, the amount of success, the leaderboards, if we're doing events that big, the leaderboards will be mind-boggling, because it's not, you got to understand, a lot of you have people who are in the business right now. They're in the Alliance, but the Alliance is not in them. In other words, for many of you, like Rachel, we see Rachel very near the top of a number of those leaderboards her first full year in the business. Obviously, Mike and Nick are there, Dan, there's a lot of that team that's in there, and there's certainly other teams that are doing great. But I just want to focus on Rachel for a second, because I've known Rachel for a long time. She was in the other company I was a part of, and she was not part of the leaderboards in that company. I know that now this company is in her. Here's the biggest thing. Rachel, in her own mind, believes she's going to get rich. And I don't think that was ever a thing in the other company. Here, she believes she's going to get rich. So let me explain to you that a lot of where this happens, where people make a decision, before you can believe you're going to get rich, you have to decide you're going to get rich. Or sometimes, I guess, it happens the other way around. But again, there's so many good things. We obviously have the Wednesday call, which every one of you should be plugging into every week, where the top people in the Alliance share incredible information. And on top of that, you've always got Andy Albright on the road, moving around. You've got other top leaders. I heard Stephen mention Hutch is going to be in your backyard. You'd be crazy not to go to that event, not to just go to the event, but promote it to the other people on your team. So we've always got these things that are going on, but the big events, these 4 big events, we're going to do a year. And if you haven't been around for a while, the company went from doing 2 to doing 4. And a lot of that was at my urging, because here's what I know. When people make the decision that this is the deal for me, there are no other deals. This is the one for me. This is the one I'm going to sink my teeth in. This is how my family and I are going to get wealthy. When they make that decision, things change dramatically. And the overall environment of the events that we're doing is specifically designed. It does many things. But the biggest thing it does, in my mind, is it helps the right people make that big decision. Then it's not that they're in the Alliance. The Alliance is now in them. And now they're going to look at it very differently. The amount of time and energy they put into it, the persistency or tenacity they have when things don't go their way increases dramatically. So please let me help you flip that switch. And that's the crazy thing. If you ever seen Tony Robbins, he said the decisions we make to shape our destiny are made in an instant. It's not hard once you make that decision. So I always think of a light switch. Many people on your team, their light switch is in an off position, and it has been for the majority of their life. All we're going to do at the event is flip their switch on. And once it's on, it's on. It's not a complicated process, but we got to find a switch. You know that story? I'll tell you the story real quick. I don't know if this is a fact or one of those old wives' tales, but the story goes that there was a FedEx plant when FedEx was up and running, and they weren't a giant yet, but they were starting to get their act together, and things were cruising and cranking, and, you know, they had reached their max capacity and their factories were humming. And they had this one gigantic factory in Memphis, and all of a sudden everything just shut down. Everything, the whole plant just shut down. The power just shut down, and they didn't know what to do. So they ran around and they tried to fix everything. And it was like, oh my gosh, none of the conveyor belts are working. Nothing is working. The lights aren't working. Like, production was stopped for like a solid hour. They couldn't do anything. And you think of a company as big as FedEx, 1 hour of non-production is a problem. Then it went to a second hour, and they kept bringing everybody in. They called people in who were off work. They weren't on their shift, and they're pushing them in. What do we do? What do we do? And 3 hours went by, 4 hours went by. Finally, someone is like, oh my gosh, we got to call the guy who set the factory up, who put the plant together. Certainly he'd know what's going on. So sure enough, they called him, and he goes, it's hard to explain. I'll get in there as soon as I can. 7, 8 hours into complete non-production, the guy shows up, walks to a very specific place, flips one switch, and wham, the whole factory is back humming like there'd never been an issue. And then he turned around and he gave him his bill, and they were like, what? You want all that money to flip on one switch? And he goes, yeah, because I knew which switch to flip. So I know which switch to flip, guys. I'm telling you, that's what I've been doing for the last 25 years. So we're going to teach you all the basics. I'm working with all of the trainers right now, getting their messages prepared for what they're going to teach at NatCon in Dallas. And you don't want to miss out on any of the content. It's all outstanding. Whether you want to just sell, whether you want to recruit and build a team, we have 9 or 10 people who are crushing it in the field right now, who are all over their respective leaderboards, and they're going to share with you exactly what they're doing. But me, I'm going to help you find your switch and flip it on. So I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. You don't want your people to miss it. Now, today I want to talk to you specifically about business building. That's the other thing. Andy brought me on board. I know a lot, man, if you're in Stephen Davies' team and you got Mark Hutchinson, you don't need any more sales training from me. Those are 2 of the best sales trainers I've ever seen in my entire life. So they have got to be giving you the right information on selling. Building a team's a little bit different. So here's the thing. It all starts with making your list. Because if you don't have a list, you can't invite anyone. And yeah, you can do cold market recruiting. Just remember this. Cold market, no matter what, is always going to be about, God, I remember Tom Hopkins teaching me, great sales trainer, cold market, selling or recruiting into anything, you're 1 out of 10. Warm market, you're 6 out of 10. So to me, it's 6 times more difficult. Figure out the math on that. You'll sign up 6 times less people if you're doing cold market. Now, if all you have is cold market, do cold market. Cold market's better than nothing. But the best thing you can do is warm market. And it all starts off with making your list. Now, here's the way most people make a list. They go, okay, yes, George. Yeah, he used to sell for Mutual. Yeah, he would be great. Oh, yeah, Tom. I bumped into him. He said he's looking for some. Maria got laid off. No, he makes a lot of money. I don't think he has time. Oh, yeah, this one. I don't think her husband wanted her to do. So you're making your list, and instead of writing down everyone you possibly can, you're being a psychic friend, and you're going, Maria won't do it. Tom will do it. It's like, are you kidding me? I remember my first experience, because everyone, by the way, makes their list like that. They think, who will be interested? Who will be good at this? Like, or they try to do a specific target demographic. All that stuff is hilarious. My mentor said, here's the deal. You want to know if someone's a good prospect, what you have to do is find a young lady nearby and ask if you can. In most ladies' handbags, they have like a little compact mirror where if they have to touch up their makeup or something, they have a little tiny mirror. Take that mirror, put it under someone's nose, and if when they breathe, it fogs up, they're a good prospect. Meaning, if they're alive, they're a good prospect. Now, I know a lot of you aren't doing that. You're pre-qualifying people. I remember the very first time I went to a company event and someone I knew was at the company event and I wasn't the one who invited them. They weren't on my team. That is a horrible feeling. Thank God for me, the person who was there didn't sign up and become the equivalent of a partner. Imagine having someone who becomes that successful and all the overrides go in the upline that wouldn't go to you because you and your Jedi logic decided they wouldn't be interested in what we're doing. How crazy would that be? So it happened to be once. You know what they say? They said, dumb people don't learn from their mistakes. Smart people learn from their mistakes. So I made a mistake. I didn't invite everyone on my list. From that moment of fear and trepidation, like, oh my gosh, what if this guy becomes the highest rank? That was enough to scare me into making a bigger list and contacting everyone. But brilliant people, dumb people don't learn from their mistakes. Smart people do learn from their mistakes. Brilliant people learn from other people's mistakes. So learn from my mistake. Don't let that happen. Make the biggest list you possibly can. Now, having said that, a lot of you are still going to, the way you're looking at it Here's the problem. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want to. Remember when you were in school, maybe you did this, maybe you didn't. I was pretty insecure in grade school and high school. So before I would ask a girl out, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this, I'd go to one of my friends and go, hey, why don't you go talk to her and tell her I kind of like her and see what she says? And they'd go over and go, oh, my friend Mark kind of likes you. Now, why would we do that? Because I'm sending like an advanced scout out because I didn't have the courage to just ask. And the reason was I was afraid the person was going to say no, or for whatever reason, I assumed they were going to say no. I did not have an abundance mentality. I had a scarcity mentality, and I was assuming the answer would be a no. So I thought maybe if someone out and I could hedge my bet a little bit. That's what you're doing when you make your list and you're only putting down people you feel certain are going to be interested. Here's the thing. When it came to asking people on a date, I asked people out and they said no. Guess what? I was still legally allowed to ask out more. By the way, they said no as well. Then I ended up asking someone out and they said yes. And I forgot about everybody else before that. And you can see it's a picture of my beautiful wife right there. Right now, being lucky enough to be married to her, who cares who said no beforehand? Same thing with building your team, man. When you invite people and they say no, I know it hurts. And the anxiety or the fear you have around the rejection you might get is stopping you from calling some people. But you've got nothing to lose, literally nothing to lose. How can you flip over an ace if you never flip a card over? Going to the analogy Stephen taught you if you were at the last event. If you weren't at the event, man, you got to come to the events because that's where we're going to teach you all this cool information. So you need to make the biggest list you can. So I was recently I always go back to my previous notes and, you know, there's so many great speakers out there. And there was a network marketer, and I apologize, I don't remember his name, who was making over $1 million a year. And he said when he was prospecting, this is good, so listen closely. Instead of making a list of anyone who, like in this case, some of you guys, the only people you have on your list are people that are already licensed in insurance. That's a mistake because you're cutting out a huge percentage of the population. And you're not even giving them a chance. So instead of however you're qualifying your list, people that need the money, people that have a lot of contacts, people that are out, instead of doing that, imagine making your list this way. Who do I know who has any financial anxiety, any financial stress or anxiety? Imagine if you wrote down every human being. Now, a lot of people who you assume are killing you have financial stress. Believe me when I tell you, if someone just went out and bought a new house with the interest rates the way they are and the way home prices the way they are, this is like a double whammy. There's high prices, they're coming down a little, but anyone who bought in the last couple of months, high price and high interest, they got a huge mortgage payment and they got to make it for 30 years. So that is financially stressed. How many people are afraid they're going to lose their job to robotics in the next 7 or 8 years? How many people are just stressed out by the overall inflation? It's all over the nation. How many people are just afraid, like my daughter, because of the way the economy is right now? She just graduated college. She got a badass job with a real estate firm, commercial real estate. She's doing great. But she's the low woman on the totem pole, and we're constantly talking about what she's going to do if she gets laid off. How many people have stress they're going to be laid off? How many people have stress with inflation continues, they can't pay their bills? How many people have stress about their retirement? You know what I mean? That they're getting a little bit older like me, and they have nowhere near the money. So again, how many people have stress and anxiety? And imagine if that even becomes your invitation. So when you're inviting someone to take a look at what we're doing, you just say, listen, I am in a business now and I'm doing really well. And especially for those of you guys who are on the leaderboard and you're doing great and you're making money and you have dramatically reduced or eliminated your financial anxiety. Now you turn to people and go, listen, man, I started a business not that long ago. And in a very short period of time, I was able to completely get rid of all of my financial stress and anxiety. All I'm doing right now is building a team of people who want to do the same thing. So do you have any financial stress or anxiety? Number one, if they say yes, Would you like to find out how to get rid of it? I need 30 minutes of your time to sit down with you and talk it through. Then when I'm doing the presentation, again, the presentation itself doesn't matter. Think about a race car, right? And a car, a physical car. And when a lot of people are showing the opportunity, this is an analogy we do at A View from the Edge. We do a race car driver. And so many people, they're so into when you're showing some of the alliance, you're showing them the car. Let me tell you something. They don't care what the engine is. They don't care about any of the details that you might care about. You know what they want to know is, will the car get them to their finish line? You got to find out what their finish line is. And if they believe the car will get them to the finish line, they're going to sign up. They don't care about the car. So it's the same thing. Do you have stress and anxiety? If I can show you how to get rid of it, are you interested? Can you find 10 or 15 hours a week right now to work a little bit extra, to put in a little more energy, to prove to yourself you can do this? Because again, guys, there are so many people that are working a second and or a third job. Why not do this as your secondary source of income? Because this could easily replace your initial source of income. So there's just so many different angles you could spin off. So number one, you make a bigger list, because in your own mind, you're going, oh, damn. Even my friends who make $150,000, $250,000, $300,000 a year, they still have financial stress and anxiety. So everyone, literally everyone, becomes someone you should put down on your list. And then when you're signing them up, again, how do you recruit up? That's one of the things. So if your financial situation is a 5, how do you recruit a 9? How do you recruit someone who's making more money? Because even though they're making more money, a lot of them are still living paycheck to paycheck, and they still have financial stress and anxiety. So it's all relative. So they become more of an option for you to bring them into the business. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing I'm going to share with you. Second thing I'm going to share with you is this. We keep talking about driving depth. You get someone underneath you, and you have to get them to go to their contacts. And as soon as you get them to go to their contacts. So I get Mike, who brings me Mary. Okay, so what we're saying is, you're not necessarily telling Mike. Imagine you have a friend who has twins. One is named Mike, one is named Mary. Mike came out about 5 minutes before Mary did. So when you are going out for the evening, do you go to Mike, who's 5 minutes older than his twin sister, and go, hey, this is what you need to do with Mary? That's ridiculous. Obviously, that's an absurd thing. You would never do that. Well, how crazy is it to get someone in named Mike who sponsors, with your help, Mary, and now all of a sudden you're asking Mike to run Mary's contacts? That's crazy. That's not driving depth. That's praying. That's playing the lottery. So what you need to do is act as if you sponsored Mary. Now you get Mary goes out and gets George. Now, again, is Mike or Mary qualified to run George's contacts yet? No, especially if this is happening quickly. Okay, listen, building a downline is like riding a bike. When you go super slow, the odds are you're going to fall over and everything's going to fall apart. But if you're going fast enough, the odds of you falling over are non-existent, virtually non-existent. So you want to make sure you're going as quick as you can. So now I get to that third person. I'm acting like I sponsored them, and I get to the fourth person. During the first 30, 40 days, 60 days someone's in, I am working with virtually everyone. That's how you drive depth. So driving depth is really important. We will talk in detail. A number of the trainers who are doing a good job driving depth are going to talk about it at the event coming up in Dallas, and I'm going to talk more about it for sure. But then you've also got to keep going wide. Think of an X and a Y axis, right? You know what I'm talking about with a graph? Well, what would a graph be with only a Y axis or only an axis? Wouldn't that be, there would be no graph. You have to have X and Y. You got to have both of them in order for it to be a viable graph. So you can't just get one leg and drive it deep, 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 deep. I mean, yes, do that, but then go get another one and 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 go get another one. You know, I was just talking to a gentleman who makes multiple six figures a year in network marketing, who's a friend of mine. And he was saying that's the biggest difference that he decided about 5 years ago was no matter how many great people he had on his team, he always needed a new team. This is the way I always looked at it, okay? Imagine you're a college football coach. And if, for those of you who don't know a lot about sports, in the pros, once someone's on your team, they're probably going to be on your team forever until they retire. In college, they have maximum 4 years and then they're ineligible. They can't play anymore. Even if they haven't graduated, they're done. So even if I have a great team right now, at the end of the year, I'm going to lose my seniors. So I've always got to be thinking, can I replace people? Can I replace people? Can I replace people? Remember, we started off this Zoom talking about friendly, healthy competition. So I know Alabama didn't make the playoffs this year. If you hate Alabama football, celebrate this 1 year because you won't be able to do it again for the next 5 or 10 years. We missed the playoffs once. And here's why is Alabama so damn consistent? And even this year when we miss out, it was a very tight judgment call and we came one spot out. How is it that this one team year after year after year, because no matter how good the team is, even when we win a national championship, the coach has recruited a bunch of brand new people and nobody has a guaranteed job in that program. No one. No one gets told if you come here, you'll start for sure. They don't do that. They say, if you come here, we'll give you an opportunity to compete to be a starter. That's the way your downline should be. You should always be driving depth, but then you're bringing new people on. Now, for me, and I've shared this with a bunch of people in the one-on-one coaching calls I've been doing, for me, I would bring on a new team to build a new person to bring a team when I was at the height of my success in network marketing every 30 days, every 30 days, every 30 days. Now, for some of you, that's a little overwhelming. You're not putting enough time and energy in. Believe me when I tell you, I spend 5% of my time in that company selling product and 95% of my time business building. So it was feasible for me to do a new team every 30 days. And even at that point, it was a breakneck pace. But after 30 days, I created an urgency. You want to think about signing up? Cool. Then you'll only have 25 days with me until I go on and find another person. The urgency, the speed that we had to run their contacts and drive deep was very important. Now, maybe 30 days is too much for you. That's okay. Then make it 60 days. Really consider working with a new person every 60 days. That means in every calendar year, you start at least 6 brand new teams. Now, the odds are they're not going to all be equally yoked. We all know the 80-20 law. But if I start 6 new teams every year, at least 2 of them are going to end up being solid teams. And then next year, I go out and build 6 more new teams, and I add 2 more good ones. Then 6 more new teams and 2 more. Over the course of 5 years, I have 10 badass teams on top of what I already have. The point is you yourself, you never have enough players. Talk to coaches, man. Players get hurt. The quarterback of the 49ers went down yesterday. He's out for the season. Players get hurt all the time. So act like you're a sports coach. And even though you may have the best players in the entire league right now, they may retire or they may get hurt and they may not be able to play anymore. So it's your job to always bring on brand new people. And how you go get new people? Talk to everyone you know and ask them if they have any financial stress or anxiety in their life. Man, Andy goes out and recruits personally to this day. First of all, the top guy, the main multi-millionaire, legit, no hype, main multi-millionaire working his way towards being a billionaire is Mr. Andy Albright. And he's still bringing on brand new people. And when he brings them on, a lot of the people he brings on are serious badasses, people that have a legitimate shot to become a partner. I know a lot of you are going, well, that's because he's so successful. No, it's not. The attitude comes before the paycheck. Andy has got that attitude. Now, Andy had the attitude about recruiting as far as recruiting up. He had that same attitude. I didn't even know him 25, 30 years ago, but I guarantee you, he didn't build what he built here by not having that attitude. The attitude comes before the paycheck. So just look for people who have financial stress and anxiety. Anxiety is a phenomenal word to use. There's so many people right now that are diagnosed with anxiety issues, and a lot of their anxiety has to do with their lack of income. So think that thought. I just gave you as many things to think about today. Hopefully some of this stuff will hit home for you. But again, we had a few minutes today. Give us a whole weekend. Come to Dallas. If you're not signed up for Dallas yet, I don't know what you're thinking, guys. Dallas is going to help you make more money. It's that simple. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how many days you're out of the field you could be writing out. You are thinking the wrong thoughts if that's where you're thinking. Every top person in the world, including me, has to pause and go to a couple live events every year. Yes, you miss out. You know what it is? Imagine going to a NASCAR race where the driver goes, I'm not going to pit stop. I refuse to pit stop. I don't have time to pit stop. Okay, you're not going to finish the race though. You may be in the lead because you're going, I'm not going to pit stop. I don't want to waste the time. That is one of the craziest thoughts I've ever heard. Everyone needs a pit stop. You need the pit stop we're doing in Dallas. We are going to supercharge your car so you can get to that destination that you so badly want to get to, because you can't lead other people to a destination until you get to yours first. So again, please stop messing around. Get signed up and get as many people on your team signed up. Put some urgency to it. The price goes way up at the end of this calendar month. And you know, the further we go in December, the more we're going to get caught up under the ether of it's the holidays. Oh my God, it's the holiday. I can't do any work right now. It's the week between Christmas and New Year's. I'm busy. I have family. So don't miss the opportunity. Get them signed up right now, because everyone on your team is going to make New Year's resolutions. And if they want those resolutions come true, we need to get their butts to Dallas. So that's all I've got right now. I'm going to turn it back over to the team, and you guys can finish up the call however you need to. But it was an honor to be invited to be a part of this. Hopefully you got some good value from what we shared. And most importantly, I look forward to seeing you in Dallas in January. Have a great day. Have great holidays. God bless.